Yo, JD here, and as you can see, we are back on F122 as always, and we return to our Hotlap and Serp series, this time at Azerbaijan, aka Baku, and as usual, we're going to be showing it in the same format, so I'll show you a full lap uninterrupted, and then we'll show it again where I will break it down in as much detail as I can. And if you are enjoying this series, then please like the video. It lets me know that it is becoming quite helpful for you. Make sure you subscribe for more F122 Hotlap and tutorials, along with league racing content and multiplayer races. Many more things to come in the future as well. And yeah, with these videos, I was trying to release it almost every day, but I want to make sure these are actually good setups and reasonable laps as well. I just don't want to release them too quickly until the quality kind of is at the standard that I want it to be. So hopefully you can understand that I will be doing this in track order, which I have been so far. And yeah, these setups, I use these online and they have been working very well for me. Of course, throughout the game, the setups may evolve even more, but at the end of the day, setups are quite a bit down to the driver and what the preferences they like. But if you would like to see my updated setups, clicking that join button will give you access to my YouTube membership. And I've already actually updated my Bahrain setup just a little bit from the start of the game itself. But yeah, this track here, I'm going to say is probably the hardest track for no assists, because the reference points are very hard to spot, traction is extremely difficult, and locking up is something that occurs quite a lot around here. So I would actually say this track is probably the worst track for no assists. And one thing I've actually found out recently, quite similar to these setups, in the garage, if you turn off all your assists but then go out on track and then turn on an assist like ABS, it still counts your lap as no assists. And I have spotted a few people doing that because I've seen them on other tracks. They've been running ABS, but then around here they're not, apparently, but I'm 99% certain that they are. So I think a few people being a bit sneaky. It's the same for the setups as well, that you can change your brake bias and the differential on the right hand side, as you can see on the bottom right hand side. If you come out of the garage and I had, say, 55 front brake bias or 63 differential, and I changed it to 50 and 58 here, if I went to then complete the lap, it would save as what I had when I was in the garage. So it would save as 55% or the 63 differential, for example. So it's quite interesting, and I've definitely spotted a few people doing that. But quite a few people in this top 10 are using ABS though. And again, I think this is one of the tracks where no assists is going to be the hardest. So I really hope that this breakdown will help you. And this setup that I'm running here is purely focused for the race, because I've been in quite a few online races around the circuit as well. And you can see we've done a 38.671. So we're going to look at this again and start to break it down. So as we go into this turn one, I'm looking at this 150 meter board. So as I go past that, so as my whole car goes past that, that's where I actually start braking. So kind of in no man's land, use all the curb going in. Make sure you don't kiss this curb on the inside. You just want to be as close as you can to that white line. On the exit, you can run on this curb, but you don't want to mount it too much, because the barriers have been drawn closer to the track now compared to F121. Now coming into here, very difficult braking zone, but I actually use this sign as a reference point. So just before I get there, that's where I start braking. And again, you don't want to clip this curb because it really will unsettle the car. Get as close as you can to that white line. Slow in, fast out. Make sure you're getting DRS on the exit. And then going down the straight, I'd probably say these next two corners are probably some of the hardest corners on the F1 calendar, because there really is no reference point at all. You want to be braking kind of about 130 meters out, so just before the 100 meter board. Again, make sure you get as close as you can without actually hitting the curb on this inside, and we're going to do it in slow motion on the exit as well. So as the steering wheel unwinds, as we go on full power, this one again, really difficult braking zone, but just before 50 meters, so around about 70 meters out, want to get as close as you can again to this white line, so you don't want to clip these curves because it really will kill your momentum going through the corners. Use all of the track on the exit. Now coming into this one, use all of the track, and just as we hit the 100-meter board, that is my main reference. So as we go past that as well, make sure you use all of the track. You can see maximizing everything we can, which you have to do on a street circuit. Get as close as you can, but do quite a late apex into this one. Don't want to be turning in too early, but get as close as you can to the wall and as far left as you can to give yourself a better line going for this right. And once again, do not clip this curb on the inside. Make sure you hit the white line. Avoid the curb on the outside as well. Get the optimal traction. And now coming into here, another very difficult braking zone, but I say just after the 100-meter board, that's where you want to start braking. So as soon as we go past that now, start to brake, you want to cut this corner as much as you can. So you could cut it more, but with this, we still have at least one wheel on the track, so it still remains valid. Going up through here, we're going to go in slow motion this entire time, and as you go through into this castle section, basically, as we get to this 50-meter board, that's when we want to start braking and turning in. Turn in early than you think, close as you can, trying to cut as much of this corner as you can, and then allow the car to float through here, always hitting on the right and the left. Really stay as far right to this right-hand side as you can, so you can see how close we are to this barrier. On 21, you could actually cut this left-hander, but now you have to actually kiss the curb ever so slightly. And as we do that, unwind the steering. So the more we unwind, the more throttle we have. Use all the track on the exit. Now coming into this section, completely flat out through this left-hander. Want the car to be as straight as possible, so the steering wheel is completely straight going into here. And again, kind of using the 100-meter board as the reference. So as we get in line with that, that's where we start braking. Try and go to the right-hand side ever so slightly to make a better angle into this left. And again, don't want to clip this curb. You want to get as close as you can to that white line. Use all of the track on the exit. Try and get a nice clean exit. And then coming into here, just after this 100-meter board, that's where you want to start braking for the final braking zone. It's very important because you've got a huge straight after this. Close as you can again without clipping the curb on the inside. And then on the exit, want to be using as much of the track as you possibly can. And then from here onwards, it's really trying to thread the car through the needle, so not to scrub off any speed. So close to these curbs as you can, and then as you go around this right hand corner, try and keep nice and tight to the right to minimize the distance of the track. One last thing to remember is the DRS line. Make sure you look down at your DRS because sometimes it's quite easy to miss, so that will give you an indication of when it's coming. Make sure you get in the DRS here and then just keep your car as straight as you can to avoid scrubbing off any speed. And you can see a 38.6. I was very happy with this because this setup is purely focused on online and the race itself. A lot of people around me are running much higher downforce setups, and you will see with my sectors, my last sector is about 2/10 faster than anyone else, because around here you need straight line speed and you need your ERS to save a lot easier. And plus with this setup as well, it's actually will create more understeer, but as the tyres go off, it will make your car less oversteery compared to a higher downforce setup. So for online, this setup worked much better for me. I could use a higher downforce setup, which I think would give me a faster lap time. And you can see only enough for 15th here. World record is a 0.4. Fastest no assists apparently in third place is also a 0.4. But as I said, you can change it to make it look like no assists. So I think a lot of people are probably running assists around here, who I've seen on other tracks, they were running assists. And you can see loading us up 8.5 wings, so an incredibly low downforce setup. So yeah, we are going to struggle for the first two sectors, and I think a 0.4 is possible for this setup, but it'd be very hard to do. It is not about the one lap pace, it is about the race pace, and with this setup, it makes it almost impossible to be overtaken as well. Makes it so much easier to save the ERS, gives you really good traction, and online, I've tested both, Over a qualifying lap, yes, with a high downforce setup, I could probably do a faster time. But over the course of the race, especially when the EOS gets difficult, it's a night and day difference. So I really hope that this was useful to you. Hopefully this will help you out with your races. Again, please subscribe if you want to see more videos such as this as well. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting the channel, and I'll be catching you very, very soon. Peace.